everybody! So, it is me, Tokkuri Yashi. How's everyone doing? Hope you are well. Today we are looking at Anemone, who is so good she has broken the game. Details coming because there is news hot off the press. Okay, so Anemone is here on this Prifest banner, which is here till the 3rd. I did my summons on this yesterday. Thank you to everybody who joined the live summoning session. If you haven't watched them yet, then please feel free to go and look at the VOD. Karen was definitely trolling me on this one, so you probably would like to go and see them. I'm not going to say any more than that. Anyway, this banner, here till the 3rd, same as always, masterpieces on it. All the Prifest characters are on here as well. Apparently, they're on here as well, although they don't like to show up for me. If you haven't summoned on here yet, you probably are going to want to once you finish watching this video, so good luck to you with that one. Okay, so what we're going to do, looking at this video, we're going to have a look over Anemone's skills. We're going to talk about what the devs have done to the game now, because she has broken it. And then we're going to take her into a couple of battles and fights to show what craziness she can actually do in-game currently and how she works, because she is a bit of a unique character. So quickly we will just pull up here this image of her with her skills on it. As you can see, she is a winged character. She is a physical character, but it's not that simple. She's designated as a physical character because she has a higher physical attack stat, but her damage is either physical or magical depending on which defense is lower on the opponent, and she sits in the mid guard position 550, just in front of Princess Kokoro. So let's have a look at her skills in a bit of detail. Okay, Anemone's skills. Her union-based pest, Vivid Vigilance, deploys a field called the Flower of Rejection onto the battlefield at a radius of 2,160 at her position, so this should cover the whole field, allies and enemies. Any enemy underneath this field will have their physical and magical defense reduced by 244. All of these stats are when she's maxed out, by the way, if you're wondering. She will then deal 39,293 base damage per second. This damage is different to other damage that is done normally by attacking. So I believe crits don't really have any effect here, so there's no point in putting crits EX equipment on her. This damage is increased by 1.2 times magic and physical attack. And this damage is either magical or physical depending on the enemy's lowest defense. So we can see here she works very well with dual buffers like Eris, Ameth, Karen, Princess Kokoro, because they're buffing her physical and magical attack. So she's getting 2 times the effect there for this skill. She also raises physical defense and magical defense of allies by 153, restores 1,599 hit points per second to allies, which again is increased by 0.05 times her magical and her physical attack. She's doing a lot on this union base. This is the only place she does her damage. You want to try to keep this union base up as long as possible. It's 18 seconds. If it's up constantly once you're union based, it will be crazy. This does make her AoE, something that I was hoping that she would be, to give her a bit more of a differentiation in the win team. But even without that, her kit is so different to any other character, she would have had that anyway. Okay, so let's move on to her skill 1, which is the Ivy Drain, and this skill drains 80 TP from the nearest enemy, restores 6,548 hit points and 60 TP to all allies within 150 range of the lowest hit point ally. So this could change around on the battlefield depending on who has got the lowest hit point percentage. Hit points restored increases by 0.2 times magical and physical attack. So once again, dual buffers, very good for Anemone. Going to help her heal more for your team. Her skill 2, Poison Flick, reduces physical and magical attack of all enemies by 6,100 for 12 seconds. Reduces physical and magical defense of all enemies by 122 for 12 seconds, and also lowers the enemy's physical and magical damage by 5%. This is a huge nerf to the opponents. So she's buffing your team, she's nerfing the opponents, she's doing incredible damage in the right circumstances. It's absolutely crazy. And last of all, she does have a special skill as well, which raises her action speed. If she doesn't have enough, she's got a special skill that raises her action speed by 50%, and it can stack with other action speed buffs. So say she was on a team with Monica, who was a 200% action speed buff. She could go up to 250%. I believe it works like that. Imagine it's multiplicative, but they will stack. So her action speed will raise even more. She nullifies the first damage instance that heads her way after she activates the special skill, and restores 75 TP to herself. Take a breath. Her loop pattern 2 is crazy good as well. As you can see down there in the bottom left of the screen, she does a special skill first, this one, raising her action speed, giving herself TP. Then she does skill 2, skill 1, and the loop is just her skill. Skill 2, special, skill 1. Skill 2, special, skill 1. With the action speed buffs, that will fire off around crazy. No wonder she is a broken unit. Okay, so she is such a broken unit. The devs have decided they need to bring in measures to chain her down because she's too good. So let's have a look at what they have said. Okay, so that was her on paper. What can she actually do in the game? Well, so much that the devs have made this announcement. It's a bit like 4 years ago with New Year's Carol, when they had to introduce the damage cap buff because she was doing too much damage and breaking the game. Anemone has also broken the game. She's putting up some huge damage figures against certain bosses. Frosthound, which we will run later just to show how crazy she is. 195 million damage quite easily. There's a lot more than we was doing a few days ago before she came out in Clown Battle. The EX6 boss, 353 million damage on his AoE mode. He's also breaking the Deep quest. He works very well in the Wind Deep quest. The bosses 110, 210 and 310. I know this, she helped me beat 210 today. Very, very good. She's also good off element, water, 310 boss. There is a team that you can use here to beat that. I don't think this is quite what the devs had in mind, so they have given this announcement about the issue where the damage cap skill does not apply to some damage. We have got this announcement. So what is going to happen is, or what they said is, Anemone's field damage currently seems to be bypassing the log cap. So an update is going to arrive probably sometime around mid-May, which is going to change the following skills. So field-based skills damage like Anemone, damage over time effects such as poison, reflect damage like Xmas Siren, and damage when an enemy takes an action like Worker Owie. I imagine Lariel 2 would fall under that. I believe these are all going to be brought under some kind of damage cap, log cap, to curtail the damage, because Anemone is doing far too much damage in certain circumstances that the devs are not happy. Are you happy about this? I think this is a little bit strange. I should have tested this before they released her into the game. Anyway, we have got until the middle of May to take advantage of Anemone if you have her. Get these deep quest stages done. Get your EX6 done if you haven't got that done already. Whilst this, what they would call was a bug, is still in the game. So, let's have a look at what she can actually do currently in the game, and then we can see when this comes in, probably with the new Deep Quest stages 4 and 5, how much difference it makes. It might not make a huge amount of difference, hopefully not, but we will see. So let's jump over and actually run her in the game now and see how she works and what she can do. Okay, so let's run Anemone against some training bosses. Once we've done this, we'll go into the Frost Hound just to see how she works in game. Now this boss, it doesn't matter that it's weak. It's weak here just so we can see how she implements her damage. Also, I've put her in a team here with a lot of characters that work well with her but don't do any real damage themselves. So first we'll let this fire off quickly. Get it working a little bit. She won't do any damage Anemone until she does her union base. Once she's done the union base, she will have that filled up. As you can see, she works very well with dual buffers like Eris, Ameth, Princess Kokoro, Karen here, who will be buffing both her magical and her physical damage. Because this damage goes on in a different way to normal, crits are not. That's important. So now what we're going to do is slow this down a little bit. What we're also going to do, I know this is going to lower the damage, but that's not the point here. We just want to see what damage Anemone is doing. So we will turn everybody off so they're not union basing, and we can see here each field is taking damage from Anemone's field. Here the boss's damage field. Look how it's popping off. Popping damage, 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 damage. If we slow it down to 1x speed here, see, look at this. I think that's at 1x speed. All of this damage just coming from Anemone on each of the boss's nodes. It's crazy, absolutely crazy what she's doing. And look, we speed it back up here to 3x damage, 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 damage. And this is why she's putting out so much damage on multi-target bosses. Absolutely crazy. See, what's that, 200 million damage, and like that, this could do a lot more. I mean, it's only a weak boss, but you can see there all of that damage coming from Anemone just from that field damage. And this is why the devs are trying to bring in these measures to try to curtail this a little bit. So that was a little test to see her damage in action. So let's go and move over to the Frost Hound when we can find it, and we will run a different team here. What team do we need? We need you, we need you, already starred down. We need you, and we need you. So we will see here how much damage this team can do against the Frost Hound. If we can set everybody, remember to set everybody there. Right, so last clan battle we had this boss. We were getting about 150 million top teams, top players with maxed out counts. Against this fight, this team can do somewhere in the range of 195 million damage quite easily. As we saw with that little training battle before, it's all down to Anemone's field. Now she's tanking here. I didn't mention her EX skill is also hit points for herself. She is a lot more tanky than you might expect, so this isn't unreasonable running her here. This is also going to give her TP. You want to give her TP to get that field up and off. But as you can see here, absolutely huge amounts of damage on the Frost Hound on each of its damage nodes. Absolutely crazy stuff. I mean, I'm lost for words. Barely what we have got here with Anemone in a multi-target boss battle fight. I was getting about 115, 118 million damage with the team I run, which was the Reno team against this boss. There we go, we're at that kind of damage now. We've still got about 14 seconds left. Barely there. Absolutely huge amounts of damage coming there on each of the nodes. It is insane, absolutely insane. And we usually get about 160. What was that? 161 million damage there. Oh, you know, just effortlessly there. Anemone broke the game. So, what more can we say about that? She's about as close to a must-pull character that we wanted to be. It's about as close as a must-pull character as you can get. She's going to help you in every game mode. I haven't even taken her into PvP yet on this. She will help you through Deep Quest. She will help you in Clan Battle more than likely. We'll see what the debuffs are like. So, let me know what you think of Anemone. I am Tokkuri Yashi, and I will see you all again for another video. Bye 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 bye. Hey.